Hello, my friends. Are you in a relationship with someone that has a drinking problem or a drinking addiction? Another name for that would be an alcoholic, although that's a harsh word. So, if you are, I would like you to take a moment and just breathe in, take a deep breath, calm down, because sometimes this can be a trigger for some people. And then I want you to select the pile that you're drawn to. It's either going to be 1, 2, or 3. And those of you who pick 2 and 3, the links are going to be in down below, so you can go right to the card choice that you want. Or some of you may want to listen to actually all 3 piles of information, because it will help you look at this situation from a different angle. So this is some guidance for you. For those of you tuning in, I want to thank you for tuning in to my channel. I've been a tarot reader for 27 years, so I'm very experienced at what I do, and I'm really happy to have you here. All right, so for those of you who selected option number 1, this is your guidance from a variety of tarot cards. And here we go with option 1. This is very interesting because I did not look at these cards to pull them, all right? And what is she holding? She's holding a drink in her hand. 2 of them are. One of them is wine. So 2 people are drinking, and the one in the middle has the whole bottle in their hand. Wow. So this is really interesting that the steampunk actually talks about this being a serious problem. Okay, this is the 3 of Cups. This person likes to party. They get a social buzz out of this. It's like if you chose pile number 1, your person that is an addict likes the social side of drinking. Like, what's wrong with having a drink? I'm just going out with friends. We're having a drink. There's no harm being done. They don't see anything wrong with it. But you notice the 2 people on the outside can handle. They're just having the drink, and the one in the middle actually has the entire bottle. So the one in the middle has the legs in a position of protecting. See where's my pointer? See the leg kind of raised slightly, like in a protection mode. So this person has the whole bottle in their hand. So they're trying to get defensive. If you bring this up, they're going to be very defensive. They're going to try to protect themselves. This is the sole issue, I believe, of the relationship that you're in. You are getting to the point where this has to end. Like, you're almost fearing that something bad will happen to them because of this drinking, because everyone, there's a saying that they have to hit rock bottom. Sometimes I believe that, and sometimes I don't. Because there's so many people who actually do pass away from alcoholism, and so they've gone and hit rock bottom and passed away from it. Luckily, that doesn't happen frequently, so I don't want to put any fear in you. But this is causing a devastational impact on your relationship. So the cards are indicating that you've got some angelic help coming, all right? Messages from Spirit are coming down to you to provide comfort. You did not cause this person to drink, and therefore it will be very difficult for you to stop the drinking. You can do all kinds of antics and threaten, to leave or whatever, but in the end, you have to remember that addictions are addictions, and the reason they're addictions is because the person has no control over it. And so if they have no control over it, if you try to put control over it, it can have devastating consequences on your relationship. This can be the ending of a relationship because of this drinking, and then, okay, I'm done with this. I'm not going to do this anymore. So the angels are sending you loving guidance. And then I've got a Lenormand card in here, and it's card number 20. And you can see that there's steps leading up to a beautiful garden. It overlooks a garden, and this just talks about going to a gathering. Like, this is about a gathering. So it could mean that it would help you to go to an Al-Anon meeting, because even if you're not a drinking person, Al-Anon is for those who are with alcoholics. And so this talks about a community that is supportive. Joining it, or it could just be a Facebook group. It talks about some kind of a meeting, a gathering with people. Okay, so your biggest support, you guys, in number one, is going to have a group of people that you can go to. This could be counseling too, where you sit in with a group of other people who are similar and you all are in counseling. So at any rate, you are going to have the best results with a group of people. And the last card I'm going to stick on the end here so you can still see all the cards is the Queen of Swords. Now she's got her back turned. She's got her back turned on all the rest of these. So there are a few of you out there who are not wanting to face this. You're like, well, they have a drinking problem, not my problem. And they're just going on with their life and allowing this person with the drinking problem to do whatever they need to do. That can work out if you detach in that way. Just remember that the person with the drinking problem, they are not the drinking problem. There is a beautiful soul inside every person who has an addiction. And so this woman isn't really able to see that. She's the Queen of Swords. She's like, I'm going to just live my own life. If this person wants to drink and do whatever they need to do, I can handle this myself, right? She tries to be really tough. She can handle this herself. She's not going to try to solve anything. Like, she's turned her back on it. So there's a few of you who are just going to not deal with it, which, that is your option. Everyone has free will, and that is your option to do that. So for those of you who are looking at this, this is a devastating problem, and it could end your relationship. And your best bet is to find a group of people who will understand this issue and will help you. For those of you who selected option number 2, your reading begins now. You fell in love with this person and you saw things in them that other people didn't, and you knew that their past wasn't perfect, okay? You knew that their past was painful, but the love is very deep. The love is very deep. And so this partner has helped you in so many ways. So even though they've had this drinking issue, they've been there. They've been there for you. They've had your back. They offer to help you. They've stood their ground when they had to. And meanwhile, you have begged and prayed and pleaded, please, if this can stop, if I can help them, if there's any way. And so there's a part of you, and notice, I always pay attention to what cards are interested in each other. She's turned her back on him. She's looking completely away. And she's praying so hard. She's praying so hard to either the angels, the universe, God. It doesn't matter who she prays to. She's just praying that this man that she loves so deeply will somehow either stop drinking or, be healed somehow. The clouds are trouble, confusion, sadness. This is a Lenormand system. I'm kind of sprinkling that in here. And so there's a lot of confusion around this issue, and it's, it hints about troubles and sadness. And she does appear like she is just devastated. She's very sad. And so the final card for you guys is the Knight of Cups. So you're choosing that, it's almost a choice, you guys who are on number 2, that I'm going to love them even with their drink. Okay? I love them even with their drinking. This person might have a temper when they drink, and then you turn your back on them and it confuses you. But in the end, you forgive them. This is the Knight of Cups. And, because this love and this love and love, the Knight is about love. The Six of Cups is about love. So your love is so strong that you're actually willing, to tolerate some of the dysfunction of the relationship because you love them so deeply. There's nothing wrong with loving someone with a drinking problem as long as they're not physically beating on you or harming you physically or damaging you emotionally, like a gaslighting or a narcissist, something like that. And which I have to tell you, I have to give a warning to some of you that the King of Wands is capable of that. If this would have been the King of Cups, no way. But the King of Wands can get fired up when he's drinking, and he can put a heavy hand, okay? So he could put a heavy hand. So just be aware that If you're in any situation where you're being physically or emotionally abused, please go reach out to a professional and get help. Please reach out. There's many numbers that you can call for professionals. You can see even a medical doctor. You can reach out to anyone, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, whoever you need to reach out to. There's toll-free numbers. So if you are listening to this and you are being physically abused, I just would want you to know that it doesn't have to be confusing for you, okay? This can put you in a confusing spot. There's help for you. Please get that. So for those of you who have chosen number 2, the overall theme for you is that your love is for this person with this alcohol problem is very deep. It's confusing. It's sad. And, you're always praying that this person gets help. But in the end, you're still choosing love. And, I come from the position, being a professional tarot reader, I don't judge anybody's decision, and I myself, if you're listening to this and you stayed to the end, I've had 2 marriages to alcoholics. And so I went and sought out professional counseling for myself, went to Al-Anon, did all of it, learned as much as I could. And by the 3rd marriage, I have someone who doesn't drink a drop. He was raised by alcoholic parents and he chose not to drink. And so I broke that pattern. So my prayer, this is me praying for you, my prayer is for you to seek out any help that you can get. Information is so valuable when you're in a relationship with somebody with an addiction. So my prayer to the unseen world, to you, is that you seek out, higher wisdom, help for this, and so that you can have a clearer picture on whether you want to stay or leave. It is your choice, and I love you guys so much that this is a reading that's hard for me to do. It's close to my heart, and I just want the very best for you. I just want you to be safe. I want you to be happy. So that's your reading for number 2. And those of you who selected number 3, this is the guidance for you. Ooh, you're strong. Wow, look at you. You are tough. You're a tough woman. You are tough. That is the World card. Wow, that is a great card, actually. So you fully are aware. Now, some of you, this relationship might be where your child has the issue, okay? So this is bringing up the child, but this is talking about cycles in your life. So you've spent a few cycles in your life with this drawing in someone who's addictive. And this is an interesting card here because he can be a little bit angry when he's under the influence. See the moon? So the emotions can really fly. He can get really angry. He's holding up the fire. I am really pissed off. So this could be somebody who gets very, very angry. And this is the Lenormand, and this is a letter. So this is like communication. It's one of those meanings that it's about, communication. It can be like maybe you've written them a letter, or maybe you're separated and this is a document of divorce or something like this. This actually could be a communication that, either I'm going to end the relationship, or you have to change because you're just getting too angry when you are in that state. And this just talks about, you guys, rest assured, because if you keep communication lines open, so let's just read this in a different way. Pages are about communication. This is about communication. This is about putting your mind to rest. And this is kind of somebody who does get a little bit of a temper or angry when they are under the substance that alters their mood. So you might have to communicate to them. Do you see communication on both sides of him? You might have to communicate to him that you're not going to be treated with this temper. And then here you are alone. You're setting a boundary. This is actually good. See the 3 swords? You're like, boop, boop, boop. I'm setting a boundary. I will get this in writing. If you're married, it's almost like this could be restraining order for some of you. If this turns into violence, this would be a written restraining order. If he's just a temper and you have young children and the children are fighting with this person, that's not a healthy situation. Your saving grace is this world card. Because the world card means you're going to start seeing this from a higher position, all right? You're going to start seeing this, that maybe this person doesn't have control. So you can set all these boundaries, but if in the end, this addiction, they have no control over it, you're going to see it. Look at, she's up in the clouds. Look at all the clouds here. See all the clouds? You're seeing this from a higher perspective. Is this what I want for my life? Is this what I want for my child? If this was not the King of Wands, and this was a different king, like the swords, or, would be, or I'm sorry, not the swords, but the cups. He's a gentle, kind man. He just kind of drinks and passes out and goes to bed. But when you got your swords and your wand, kings, they can, under the influence, they can get really moody and really nasty to children and both to you. But look at you in the world. You're comfortable with who you are. You're like, you know what, dude? I'm going to give you the ultimatum, this communication. I'm going to give you the ultimatum, and I'm not afraid to sleep alone. Okay, that's what this card is. The Four of Swords is like, rest your mind. You're going to set these boundaries, make a decision, and then you'll actually go through with it, you guys. you will actually go through with it. Now, some of you, if this is just a temper and it's not really, he doesn't really generate it at anybody, and it's something that's healthy for everyone to be in, you might make a decision that, well, I have a child with this person, so I'll just wait till the child's a little older. As long as there's not like emotional abuse or physical abuse, you might choose to stay. But needless or regardless, there's this communication that's being made to this person because he's right next to the communication. And then here you are putting all your worries up on the wall so that you can get a good night's sleep and you can sleep in peace. So this is option number 3. You're strong people. You're strong people. If anybody can deal with this issue, you can, because this is the world card. This is, there's a reason that this happened, and usually the people that get the world see the higher picture. You see the higher picture of what's going on. So if you have children that are being influenced by this, you'll be watching the effect, and you'll be making decisions. You'll be doing a communication and making decisions. So I wish you the very best, and this is your guidance from a variety of tarot cards, and I thank you so much for listening.